All right, we are live, everybody. So today is Thursday. I'm going to be talking about a little bit about the Evil Dead franchise. Maybe about like 20 to 30 minutes. We'll get through it. I did get a chance to finally see Army of Darkness, which is pretty cool. It's free here on YouTube. So the only movies I've not seen in the franchise are Evil Dead Rise, Ash vs. Evil Dead, the series. I've seen, all the others, including the remake. The remake. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about um, the first film a little bit. I don't really know too much offhand with a lot of these. I don't watch them enough. So the thing with Evil Dead, it's about a group of people. You have Bruce Campbell as Ash. They go to this secluded house or cabin in the woods, and I love I love stuff with the woods most of the time. The one movie I will not see that has something to do with the woods is In a Violent Nature, which I did see some like gore kill scenes on YouTube here. Not my cup of tea like that. I mean, I'm not really into the over the top gore stuff, but so it follows a group of friends. They're going to this cabin in the woods, and from what I remember, they find, like, I believe it's a tape recorder, and I guess it's some type of doctor or something that's on the video recorder doing his research, and his wife are doing research, I guess, with the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon. And this is before they called it the Necronomicon. I don't think you get the official name of the book until I think it's Army of Darkness, at least. But people start being possessed. They start being possessed. Now, for special effects were pretty good. There were some things that were kind of questionable in the film, which I didn't really care for. I think the way it was shot, it looked like it was too cheap, like some of the film work a little bit. There's times where I had to basically turn the TV down because of how loud everything was. But for the most part, it is a good film. It's one I will watch from time to time. Now, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, I got that movie on VHS from a friend of mine for my birthday years ago when I was a teen. He tried to introduce me to the series, and I watched it. Well, really wasn't into it. So I watched it again. And the thing with that, if I remember correctly, it's almost like the first film was a standalone film. It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the first film at all, which I thought was kind of weird. I mean, I might be missing things here, but like I said, I've not watched the first and second one, over and over again. But why would you go back to the same house in the woods? That's the question, which is really, really weird. The special effects were a little bit better, I think. When you see you see something charging at the cabin and stuff, it's like from the first person view, and it has that roaring sound and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty cool. Bruce Campbell again, once again, great job. I like the part where his hand does get possessed and he has to slice it off, and then he ends up using the chainsaw with his hand. So that was pretty cool. I don't know, I know Sam Raimi, who did this Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy. This was way before he did Spider-Man films. I don't know what type of cameras they were using. To me, it just didn't feel like it was like grainy. It didn't really feel like a professionally shot film. Until you get up to Army of Darkness, which I can see. I think a lot of people will say Army of Darkness is the best one. I mean, I did get to see it over the past weekend here on YouTube, like I said earlier in the live stream here. The picture quality is the best I've seen out of the three. I think it's really cool having them in medieval with the skeletons and stuff like that. The special effects, once again, with all that. Of course, it's a 90. I think it was a 90 93, I believe it was 92 or 93. Army of Darkness was. You can tell it was like pretty much stop motion. It wasn't CGI like what we have today. Now, if they would do Army of Darkness today, it'd be all CGI, armies of skeletons and whatnot. I think the cool thing about that film is when he's there in medieval, and it's kind of a cheesy line that he says, because he's talking about the shotgun he has, $119. Retails for shop S smart. That's a really cool line. But the fact of the matter is it's amazing that the guy could actually make a living working in a department store in housewares, because especially today, you would not be able to make a living off that, even if you're full time. Technically here in the States, it's very, very difficult. I mean, amongst other things, I mean, it's, prices are going up left and right, and my goodness. But I did like the glove that he did get. The mechanical hand that he did get. I thought that was really, really cool, really well done. My favorite part is when it's mini ashes that he has to take on for a little bit in that film. I thought that in that one scene, I thought it was really funny. I kind of was, laughing at it. I think the main girl, I can't remember her name offhand. I thought she looked pretty good. Definitely a great woman for the film. The main bad guy, like a rotted corpse guy. If you guys know what I'm talking about, he's all in armor and stuff. Very, 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 very interesting stuff. But at the end of the day, if I had to look at it, this was the better picture quality out of the three of the Evil Dead. Going into the 2009 going not in 2009, but going into the remake with Jane Levy, very, very different take. When you go into these remakes, they're very different from one another. And what I mean by that is the stories are different. The characters' names have been changed. It's not the same characters that were in the original film. Of course, she's playing a female version of Ash. It was so-so. I remember seeing it in theater, and I kind of cringed in a couple of certain parts, but it was all CGI because we're in the 2000 eras, and it was pretty good. Definitely not one of my favorites, but it was so-so. I couldn't imagine if they would have did like a sequel to it. That would have been really cool, but they didn't. I think that's what they need to do some of these days. Is like, when you do a remake, let's do a sequel to the remake. They did a prequel to the remake of 2003's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I thought was pretty decent, but I still like the remake better from 2003. But with further ado, I can't really say anything about Ash vs. Evil Dead or Evil Dead Rise, because I've not seen those. But to stand out, now which film out of this franchise do I like the most? I'll be perfectly honest with you. I thought it was really weird having Ash in medieval times. I thought it was really weird, but the picture quality is a lot more better than the first two Evil Dead films. But I still like the whole woods aspect part of the first two films, which, it's kind of hard to pick which one I like the most. So, near at the end of the day, I would probably lean towards, because I love outdoors. I probably would lean towards maybe the first one, because the first one, they don't ever mention anything that happened from what I remember in the second film, in the first film at all. Because basically, it seems like the first film is a standalone film. So, yeah. What more can you say? And like I said, none of my videos are scripted here, so this is me just coming up with different thoughts and stuff like that. So, you're further to do. But near the end of the day, to be perfectly honest, despite the first Evil Deads being in the woods. And then, the picture quality, some of the picture quality is kind of questionable. I really like the picture quality for Army of Darkness. It really does make a difference for the film. It feels like more of a high budget film because, it's in medieval times. You got the castle, you got, an army, and I mean, just some really really cool set pieces they got in that film. So yeah, Army of Darkness is definitely is my favorite. My first time watching it, I was kind of questionable about some of the dialogue, some of the stop motion stuff with the skeletons, but hey, it is for its time. We didn't have CGI like we do now, but I mean, it is what it is. When I saw the trailer for Evil Dead Rise, I was like, well, this is a really weird film. I don't know if I really want to see this. I might check it out if it's on a streaming service that I got. I mean, I usually use Tubi, Pluto. If it's ever on one of those, I'll watch one of those. As for Bruce Campbell being Ash, an icon, he is an icon in his own right. I'm not a big Ash fan. We were supposed to get Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, but that film never even happened. That would have been interesting to see that, but I don't know how good the film would have been. I mean, I would have preferred a Freddy versus Jason 2, but then again, we would already know the outcome in the second film because it would be Jason winning it every single time. Which can't really kill Jason at all permanently. So if you drive Freddy out of the dream world, he's human, just like me and you. So that's that. And we did see that already in Freddy vs. Jason. But yeah, they were this close to making a Freddy vs. Jason versus Ash film. For those of you who do not know, it would have been really cool to see that. But at the end of the day, my buddy got to meet Bruce Campbell. I believe he had his Army of Darkness poster signed. I mean, Bruce Campbell was basically it was that flashback weekend. He was in his own separate area signing. He was away from the other celebrities, and that was just pretty interesting. I didn't go in there to meet him or anything like that, but I'm not that diehard of an Evil Dead fan. But I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, they're fun watches, but definitely not my top favorite by any means. So yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on the Evil Dead franchise? Which ones did you like? As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you my order, which ones I like out of the ones I've seen. Okay, we're going to go with Army of Darkness is number one. The original one from, I think, 1980 or 1981. And then Evil Dead 2, and then the remake. So Army of Darkness, the original, part 2 of Evil Dead, and then the remake. So that's my pick. So everybody's picks are going to be different. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I do what I do on my videos here. I don't have anything really, really fancy with like fancy video presentations. But like I said, hey, I got a 4K Insta360 webcam here. I'm doing more live streaming than I do regular videos. So, I mean, that way it gives the opportunity for people to go ahead, and if they want to go ahead and chat with me while I'm on my live stream, that's great too, because I always love interacting with people. But yeah, without further ado, guys, that's all I got. The Evil Dead franchise, a little bit of a discussion. It's definitely not a fan favorite of mine, but I will watch them from time to time. It's I wanted to give those a shot. But yeah, Bruce Campbell, hail to the king, baby. Remember that line from Army of Darkness. Take care and see you guys back in the next one.